In this video you can find an unboxing, an assembly, X-gantry adjustment, firmware upgrade, noise, power, thermal camera testing, printing, a menu walkthrough, and finally my conclusion about the new FlashForge Creator Pro 2 independent dual extruder equipped 3D printer. I know that it's a little bit longer video, but I labeled all chapters so you can jump wherever you want. So let's get started with the unboxing. This video was sponsored by GLC PCB. Order your custom-made PCBs for a very good price. Check out their homepage for more details. So, after the German border custom inspection, Zollbeschau, it's our turn to open the printer. Check what's inside. We get this 2 filament guide, quick start guide with an SD card, surface for the build plate. We can see that here is the power cable, some glue, the scraper, USB cable, and something 3D printed red stuff. I don't know yet what's this, but we check it later. The anti-oozing plate, 2 of them, and then some grease and unclogging pin tool, Allen wrenches, screwdrivers, leveling nut, an extra Teflon tubes, and this nozzle change wrench. These are the spool holders. Okay, I can grab it from the sides. So, the peeling. First I take off this part. One extruder assembly. So I just put it onto the table first. Later we have to assemble it. And then this is the top cover. And also 2 kilograms of PLA filaments. It has a blue one. Ooh, FlashForge logo. And a white one. Some extra packaging material is also here in the sides. If you look at closer, you have to take off these fixing clips, which are here, these yellow ones. They are also 3D printed. Because this was just installed to fix the extruder position during shipping. There's also one at the left here. So these were the first 2 was for the 2 extruders and in the x-axis, and this was for the y-axis. And there's another one here also at the right. So after we take it off, we took off 4 of them, and we are not finished yet because there are some zip ties also. We have to cut them. 3. Good. Then the last part that we have to take off is this part under the build plate. For this you have to raise the build plate. You can make it with your hand. Just turn it. And then the last part coming off also. I peel off this. Really nice. This one. And we have to install the 2 extruder assemblies. Here's the left one and the right is the same, just the mirror. If we check, we see here is the nozzle. Everything is pre-assembled. This is the part cooling fan, and this blows the air out in this hole, and then it goes through this one and blows the air directly to the freshly printed filament. And this fan cools down the heat break inside to not melt the filament up to the extruder gears. Okay, so now we see that 4 holes for 4 screws. With these 4 screws you can fix this assembly onto the X-axis like this. And the other one is exactly the same, just in a mirrored way. So, and you can see that it's moving independently from the other one. That's why it's called IDEX system, independent dual extruder system. And also the anti-oozing plate has to be fixed, and they are coming to the sides. I just realized some issue with the X-axis because it's not parallel with the frame. If you check, you can see that it's standing like this, and we have to fix it because if it's not perpendicular and parallel, and so it's not good. You cannot just easily slip it, but you have to lose the belt first and then fix it, and after that you have to retighten the belt. To fix this issue, we have to somehow slip the timing belt on this pulley. We have to take off this belt tensioning spring, and hopefully it will be enough to slip the belt over the pulley, because here this is an open belt, but it's glued here inside this plastic part, and I don't want to take this off from here. I don't see any screws here that I could lose to slip the pulley itself. At the other side is the motor, the stepper motor, which moves the whole gantry on the y-axis, and this rod is connected to both sides of the y-gantry. First taking off these springs. Good. So I end up to take out all 8 screws, and hopefully this will let us enough play for the pulley. Now it's more loose. I'm trying to hold this axis fixed and pull this like this. Okay, it looks much better. It's 81.5 millimeters here. Okay, it's 81.7. 0.2 millimeter is the difference. The GT2 has 2 millimeter distance between the teeth. That means if I shift one, then I will get more error as it is now. So I left it like this. Put back the tensioning spring like this. And after you reach this point, put it over here. And that's how it should be. Now we check if it's on the way or not. But it's perfect. So it won't collide with the pulleys. Whew. Back on track. FlashForge. You make me extra work. Don't forget to put back the screws, all of them. There are two different lengths. The short ones are for the anti-oozing plate, and the long ones are meant to be for the extruder assembly. So we take the long ones first. So we have the two extruders installed, and now the anti-oozing plates. One at the left. After I come here, it blocks the nozzle so it won't ooze the filament out when it's hot. We have to repeat this process at the right side also. Okay, it has perfect fit. The other one is a little bit too high, I think, because it's already touching the part cooling fan exhaust. You can bend it with your hand a little bit lower. Now it's touching, but just a little bit. Not to reach the part cooling fan exhaust, just the nozzle. After we fix the issue with the gantry and install the two extruders and the anti-oozing plate, we can go further and install the two filament spool holder. This. There are these two tubes which are going to the extruders, and you have to clip them here inside. You have to take care that not install like this, but like this. So the spools are going at the opposite side. The spool holder works like so, that you have to push two sides and then we'll slip inside the spools and then clip in. In this end, I just cut off this part. And then, not here, but here, we feed the filament till it's coming out at the other side, like this. Yes, okay. And feed the filament into the extruder. You can do it like so, that you hold the filament, push down this knob. This will release the pressure between the extruder motor and the other side gear. So you can push this down and then push the filament down till you can. After a while, it's reaching the bottom of the nozzle, and you can push this guide over it here. Okay, after this, we finished loading. I think it's time to put the cover, the top cover onto it. So you can just put over like this. The last part is the power cable, the power slot. Now I turn it off, plug it in, and then turn it back. Turn it on. It's silent. More silent than the Creator 3. It says SD card fail. Wow, because it was no SD card inside. Okay, this sound is also crazy. It's okay. I want to hear it again. Create a 3D life with full pleasure. Cool. Okay, and now we have to level the bed. First, to make it, I will raise a little bit more to reach the leveling nuts. So with the tool menu, Z minus, Z plus. I believe the Z minus will go up. Yes. So we go up a little bit. I like the idea that the end switch for the bed is on the top and not at the bottom. So it won't go down all the time when it goes home. And it saves you a lot of time. The Creator 3 goes up and down. I can grab these nuts and turn it all the way in to avoid the nozzle to crash into the build plate when we start the leveling process. Okay, now we are all the way in, and in the package you get a special sheet for build plate leveling. So we go back and set the level option. Both extruders going to the home position, to this parking position. And now says that screw the 3 nuts under the platform counterclockwise until they are tight and tap the next. We just made it, so we are going to the next. As we see, comes the right extruder first and stops, and we have to adjust this front knob till the distance between the build plate and the nozzle are good. So I just moving back and forth till I feel some resistance. Now I feel it. So this is okay. We are going to the next. Please adjust the left thumb screw under platform when stop. So it goes to the back, and we have to repeat the same process here also. Okay, going to the next. And you can guess, we go to the right thumb screw at the back. And with the 3-point, it's fully defined, this level. Okay. Next. Level adjustment finished. Continue to calibration Z-axis. After we adjusted the 3 nuts, we have to adjust the set position. So I go up till it's reaching the point. It depends how long do you hold the button, so you have to be quick if you want to step a little bit. Whoa. Okay, now I think it's okay. Okay. Z calibration complete. Continue to calibration X-axis. Why not? Yes. Now it's hitting the extruders. It says please insert filament into both of the extruders. We already made it. So now we are waiting till the heat up process finishing. First, as I see, it heats up the build platform. The preset is 50 degrees Celsius. Now we are at 31, and after it will reach, I guess, the 50 degrees Celsius, it will heat up the left and right extruders to 230, which I find a little bit high for PLA, but for this short time it's okay. So now it brings one line with the blue one and another one with the white. Just reach the temperature and then we check closer if it's aligned or not. It looks pretty good to me. If you check, it's aligned. So now we can use the scraper and take it off. We are going to say OK. The X calibration complete. Continue to calibration Y-axis. Yes. It goes to the home position again, and now the heat up process back to this fairly high 230 degrees Celsius, and after it's reached we'll print again. It prints in the direction of the X-axis, but it's calibrating the Y-axis. So let's check again. After we fix the gantry issue, it's aligned really well. We do not have to adjust anything. If you have to, if the left extruder prints a line like this, you have to push the Y plus, and then this line will go closer to the right extruder. If you have the other case, then you have to plus the minus. I think it's pretty understandable. You can do it if you need. Now I won't verify because I not adjusted anything. I know that it's okay. I click on OK. Y calibration complete. Really good. I think we calibrated the Y and the X axis, and it said that we calibrated the Z axis, but for me it's interesting that we just calibrated the right extruder but not the left one. I click on the Z calibration again and I'm curious what's happening now, because how does this printer knows the height difference between the right and the left extruder? It's not clear for me. It says that please randomly select extruder to calibration. I know that we already calibrated the right extruder, so now I randomly will select the left one. Okay, please step Z minus Z plus. So we have to repeat the same process, but it seems that it's forgetting the original setup, which was 0.05. 0.11 is better. I left it there and I will be curious if the right extruder now it will be too high or not, but we will see. Okay. Z-axis calibration. Now comes the right extruder also. That's interesting, because at the beginning it was just one extruder. Now it makes good. Okay, it's okay. The left one was 11 and this one is 9. We are good to go, I think. So checking the SD card, we can see the flash print is here. This is the slicer. XY calibration tool. Okay. Now we know what are these red parts for. I made it with the caliper. We will check it later. How good was our job. Quick start guide and user guide. Test files, we will print these later, and some videos on English and Chinese. And a very important thing, that if you check here the quick start guide and go to the 6th page where the accessories are, you can find here the XY calibration tool. But on the printed one, there's no XY calibration tool. Not good. Another interesting thing, that if you go to the homepage for FlashForge and check the quick start guides, you cannot find any Creator Pro 2. This one is the old version, I think, which has the 2 extruders in one assembly, so they move together. It's not an IDEX system. So please, FlashForge, put the newest user guides and quick start guides onto your homepage. Thanks. So now we know what are these for. We check what we made before with the adjustment. The instruction says that you have to install them onto the rods here. One at the left and another one on the right. Push back and then check if the two sides are aligned. And if you check now the distance between the plastic part and the red printed part, it is 0 distance here, gap, and the other side is also, so we made a good job here. So we know that the gantry now is perpendicular, parallel, so well aligned. Okay. First, before I print, I check the firmware version, so we will know which firmware do we use. So this is a 1.3 version. If it has a newer one, we are upgrading the firmware first and then print the first prints. Now we can install the Flash Print software. I have a Windows, so I will use this one. After we install the Flash Print, we launch it. Select type of machine. We have the FlashForge Creator Pro 2. How it knows? I plug the USB cable into my PC and try to update the firmware. Okay. Upgrading firmware, okay. Does not work. From the homepage I cannot find the firmware, so I cannot install it through the SD card. Let's see if the Flash Print is the newest one. Help. Check for updates. New version of Flash. Okay, let's download it. We have a 4.6 available and we just installed a Flash Print 4.32. Okay, so now help about Flash Print is now the new one. Tools, machine information, we can still connect to the printer and update firmware. Let's try again. There is a sys folder in the root directory in the SD card when updating the firmware. Okay, so it needs the SD card in the printer. I check the SD card. There is no sys folder, so we will make a sys folder here, not here, on the SD card. And put the SD card into the printer. Yes. Okay. Now it works. Firmware has been uploaded. Reboot your printer to complete the update. I'm doing rebooting. Now, ha 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 ha. We have it. Tools, machine information, connect. Okay. That was not easy. Version 1.7 now. So let's get further and print something. So So now we can just start with our first prints. So plugging it in, and we go to the print. Here is the SD card, test files, and there are 3 prints. YE print. Okay, it's homing. Heat up the platform to 40 degrees Celsius. Right extruder 205, left extruder 200. I don't know why is it different. The same material though. And if we check what's here, the extra options that we can make, then we can adjust the print speed during printing, the Z offset, which is for the first layer. We can stop the left and right extruder. Okay, left extruder reached the temperature, right extruder also. And it starts with the left one. Okay. The first layer looks okay. As I see, it prints first the raft under the model. So this is not part of the model yet, just the raft. So after we turn on the 3D printer, you find this page with the 3 icons. If we go through all of them, you can see that there's a print menu where you can choose the files from your SD card and then print it or delete it. There's a preheat option. In the preheat you can set up the left and right extruder temperatures and also for the platform temperature. Here if you click on the numbers you can set up different temperatures. And there's finally a tools option where you can load and unload the left and right extruder with the filament. You can lever your bed, go to the home position. You manually can also move the extruders, the right one and the left one. You can move them in the x-axis like this, that this is the right extruder to the right and left, and there's the left extruder to the right and left. And then the whole gantry moves to the back and forth with the y-axis, and there is the z-axis up and down. If you push it, you can also see the actual position here. Under the settings, you can calibrate your x, y, z axis. There's also an expert mode if you have to fine-tune your x or y axis offsets. You can see here this picture which shows that if your printer prints a line with the right extruder like this and the left extruder prints in this, so it's not aligned, you can push the X minus and then you can bring this left extruder aligned with the right extruder. The same with the Y direction. If your right extruder prints a line like this and your left extruder prints over it, you have to push the Y minus. If the left extruder prints under, then you have to push the plus one. And then there's also a language option. You can choose these languages. And if you have to, whatever reason, you can factory reset your printer. There's also a status page where you can get a quick look about the temperatures and also the positions. And here you also can turn on the LED light inside the printer, because there is also one, as you can see. And that's an RGB light, so you can switch between the red, green, blue, and also the 3 LEDs at the same time. Gives a white color. And if you want to turn them off, you just click on this gray icon. And finally you can find the About page, where you can see your machine name, machine type, the actual firmware version, the print volume if you forget it and you need it. The usage counter shows you how many hours did you print with your printer. And also here's the tool count is 2 because of the IDEX system, the 2 independent dual extruder. That's all. I think it's pretty clean, easy to understand. You don't really need much. The pros. Independent dual extruder system, which opens up new possibilities like mirror or duplicate mode printing with 2 colors, or printing supports with water-soluble materials like PVA. Mostly pre-assembled. You just need to screw the extruder assemblies and anti-oozing plates into their places, hang on the spool holders, install the top cover, and you're ready to go. Solid metal frame. Under the plastic cover, a solid metal frame is hiding, which provides a sturdy foundation for the extruders. Closed chamber, which is optimal for filaments which tend to warp or shrink during printing. Compact design. If you have to move your 3D printer, you can just grab it and put it to its new place. A touch screen control, which helps you to operate your 3D printer. The cons. 240 degrees Celsius maximum nozzle temperature. That means you cannot print high temperature filaments with this printer, like ASA, PC or nylon. Small build volume. 200 times 148 millimeters for the build plate and 150 millimeters for the height if you print with one extruder or with two extruders in dual color mode. If you print in a mirror or duplicate mode, where the two extruders are over the build plate at the same time, then you will lose 20 millimeters from both sides because of the nozzle distance between the left and the right extruders. So if we make the math, 200 millimeters minus 40 millimeters divided by 2, we end up with a maximum X width of 80 millimeters for the model. Hard print removal. This printer has a fixed build plate and prints with large bottom surface are pretty hard to take off. What you can do is increasing the gap between the nozzle and the build plate or print with reft. Missing safety features. I can live without a recovery from power loss or collision detection feature, but a filament runout sensor, especially that the filaments are placed at the back of the printer so you do not really see them, would be a really nice to have feature. Noise level. As you could see, this printer is in the 50 decibel range, which not that terrible but definitely disturbing in the long run. As a conclusion, I think this 3D printer fits good for everyone who wants to print smaller models with dual extruders and regular filaments like PLE, PTG or ABS. From the productivity point of view, you can double it up thanks for the mirror or duplicate mode printing possibilities. Let me know what do you think about this 3D printer in the comment section. Till then, happy printing and see you next time!